Hello, everybody, and welcome to Calling It in the Ring podcast, your 100% watch along podcast. Here today, of course, I am the host, Craig, along with my co host there, Tom. Tom, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. Hanging in there, getting ready for a little almost 20-year-old version of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I haven't done a Raw in a while. The last 2 weeks were NXT, and then NXT, one of the early takeovers, Revolution, which was a fine, a fine show, I thought. I think I saw a lot of ratings. There was a lot of high ratings online, and the matches on that card, and even me and you were saying how good um, pretty much every match in that card was for the Takeover Revolution. Did anything jump out for you to Takeover Revolution? Was it a surprise, or were you kind of expecting, just a typical crazy ass takeover?
It was a solid show for sure. I really wasn't let down any of the matches. Everything was good right from the start to the very end, and the takeovers. I mean, just about every one of them they've done has been really, really good to excellent. I mean, I could name probably five of them that were, pretty close to 10 out of 10,
Yeah, and looking at this Raw here, of course, today we're watching the poll winner, Raw, December 18th, 2000, so 19 years ago. Um, Here we are, Monday Night Raw, Mr. McMahon. Obviously, the big heel character he was back then. Kind of in the centerfold of everything, leading up to really kind of the next Royal Rumble and WrestleMania angle, kind of this early here in December. But, this is how they used to do it. Um, so you see some of it kind of bit now, kind of, sort of sometimes, but um, I think we even covered, the Survivor Series we covered with Cena and The Rock. They obviously built that WrestleMania up, but they don't do it as much as this anymore. I think um, I don't know if it'll help to get back to it because you always have injuries and contracts and stuff, pops up, but. I kind of like going back and watching how, knowing what we know now, what obviously happens, down the line, 4 or 5 months away at WrestleMania, how they're planting these little seeds here, back in middle of December.
Right on. Yeah, I kind of wish they did that today, kind of started the build from the run to the Rumble around this time. They kind of started wait till after the first of the year, but I guess it is what it is. They have that pay-per-view in December there, about the middle of the month that they normally do with tables, ladders, and chairs. I want to say it used to be something else, but I can't recall what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Looks like the McMahon family is fully represented on this show, so we'll see what happens. I don't remember this episode, so we'll have to see what happens. Looks like it's an hour and 35 minutes long.
All right, Tom, if you're ready, I hope everybody got up on the network or YouTube, wherever you watch along with us here on the pod, and we are once again December 18th, the year 2000, Monday Night Raw. Tom, if you're ready, I'm zeroed out, and get this thing rolling, man.
Let's go.
All right, everybody, and 3, 2, 1, and play. And here we go with another, probably my favorite WWF or WWE Open, at least that I can remember. Classic stuff here from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, it was definitely more edgier, more in your face for sure.
And here you go with right off the bat, as we talked about. Here's Vince on SmackDown, no less. Not even on a Raw, but this is when they're pushing, SmackDown in the early years as equal footing, and tells Linda he wants a divorce. And then here you see Stephanie pleading with Vince, to reconsider, or once again on SmackDown. So um, pretty much looks like a recap of the previous SmackDown here from the last week.
Yeah, Vinnie Mac's even dressed in blue. He's got his two henchmen there with him, the Stooges. They're showing all their homes and cars and boats and planes and jewelry and whatever else they can afford, which is pretty much anything.
Yeah, especially at this time, late 2000. Think this is obviously leading. I don't know how, I don't read the dirt sheets or the news. I see stuff online, of course, now, but back then, I obviously wasn't reading into it. The internet was still kind of somewhat new, as you see with that cell phone there. They hand Vince. Definitely not a smartphone or anything like that, but late 2000 here, WCW is about 3 or 4 months from being bought out by Vince himself. There's that one of those classic evil grins in the mirror as he laughs at himself. Basically, he's sending his wife Linda to the hospital.
Yeah, it was roughly a little more than 3 months before WCW closed up shop, and obviously it had a stranglehold in the ratings by now. And I didn't look at what the rating was for this show, but it was they were still pumping out fives and sixes around this time, whereas Nitro was low twos.
Here we go with the big pyro and the fireworks going off like crazy, and one of the classic Raw stages. I still kind of miss. Oh, hello. Still kind of miss the whole steel ramp and the steel Titantron and just that old, iron gritty look. I don't know.
Yeah,
Live in South Carolina.
Yeah, compare the crowd. Look at everybody standing up, right? Everybody's got signs and going crazy. And the Raw now, people are much more subdued and laid back and such. I think the pyro on that helps, of course, but yeah, even flashing the Times Square, everybody's holding their arms up, going nuts. So definitely a sign of the times for sure. No pun intended.
Yeah, a week out from Christmas here, of course, December 18th, and here comes Vince to start off the show. Big TNN logo, one of the small period of times where Raw wasn't on the USA Network here.
That's right. Yeah, people forget about that.
Big old WWF.com ad on the side, and man, that I can't find a bigger heel at this time, especially now that Eric Bischoff is gone and the NWO is pretty much done. The WCW. Vince McMahon might be the top heel in freaking pro wrestling right here.
You could argue he still is.
Yeah, I think when he wants to be. You've seen him at the what was it, the Raw 25 or whatever it was, where he had that run-in again with Stone Cold. He cuts a quick heel promo and just turns the crowd against him in 2 minutes. It took him.
Yeah.
And just like that, he could be one of the better heels in the damn business.
Of course, ate a stunner as everybody was expecting. I don't think he eats a stunner on this show, but be nice.
No, he's already walking with the cane here, selling. Not really sure what he's selling here, honestly.
Yeah, gingerly strutting around the ring there with the cane and one hand microphone in the other.
Yeah, this is a really good build. I actually like this storyline for what it was. You said Vince is one of the better heels, and then you get Stephanie involved, and then, Linda kind of falls into like this deaf silence, whatever you want to call it. Shock, I guess you would call it. As Vince is kind of breaking it down here, Linda was rushed to the hospital after SmackDown this past Thursday as he's selling it. And, then obviously Shane, gets involved with quote unquote purchasing WCW, and then he gets involved. And the McMahons are kind of like one of the biggest storylines, at least heading into WrestleMania this next year.
Right. Yeah, I think it was the year before, wasn't it, in 2000, where each of the McMahons had a competitor in the Mania main event.
Yeah, they had the, Stephanie, of course, had Triple H, and then I think Shane had Big Show. I want to say Linda had Mankind?
Linda had Foley. No, Linda had Foley. Yeah, Foley. He might have been Mankind at the time. I can't recall.
Yeah, and then Vince had The Rock, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the year where I think it's just Shane and Vince, but then they have the whole, Linda's in a wheelchair on the side, and then Trish comes out, and then
Right.
Linda gets like one of the biggest pops of the year by just standing up and slapping the shit out of Trish. And of course, Stephanie gets involved, and they go rolling around outside the ring and all kinds of crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
um, man, they did build this so good because at WrestleMania when Linda just standing up out of the chair, because she goes in shock here. This is really the first episode of Raw where she's quote unquote in shock after being sent to the hospital, and then she's like that until that WrestleMania moment 5 months later, 4.5 months later. So
Right.
um, that's some crazy shit, man. It takes I'm sure it takes a lot of practice and professionalism to get that, hard not to look at anything, or sell anything on camera, especially Raw here. It's live TV.
Yeah, for sure. The build up to that Mania, the 2001 Mania, which I believe was 17. A lot of people, that's their favorite Mania of all time. So yeah, the build was really good, and the payoff was equally as good.
Yeah, and Shane and not Shane Undertaker. I was looking at the damn Dead Man sign, but Shane and Vince really did beat the shit out of each other in that match. That was a good match for Shane and Vince anyway. It wasn't Eddie
Right.
Guerrero or Kurt Angle or anything, but it was entertaining. I'll give them that. And I guess what else are they going to really provide?
Yeah, yeah. You can still see a lot of the smoke in the background from all the pyro still lingering in the air. You don't see that too much anymore, even when they do the pyro these days. I'm sure the technology is way better. So, but Vinnie Mac's still going on with his long soliloquy here and trying to justify his actions.
Yeah, and they do this a lot, whether they Stone Cold or The Rock or here in this case Vince, whatever the big storyline was, it would be usually the first 10 to 12 minutes of the show. This would be it until somebody interrupted them or whatever.
Yeah, or they went to commercial or something. Yeah, but I'm sure he'll get interrupted here. Um, like I said, I don't remember seeing this one, or if I, did, it was obviously a long time ago. So I don't recall the details, and I didn't read through the spoilers or anything like that. The recap.
As Vince says, sort of gonna make things right, and of course trying to push the blame off on for Linda's nervous breakdown, trying to push it off on Linda herself, I guess. Kind of saying the marriage sucked, or um, she didn't live up to being the wife of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Damn it.
It looked like he got some sadness on his face here, and some concern and some worry.
Yeah, I always heard stuff about Vince never really shown affection to Linda, like around um, you know Bruce Pritchard or Pat Patterson or like any of those guys. It's kind of weird. But
Yeah, can't say I'm surprised, but
they're still married today, and I don't think you know I don't know. I never really heard anything about Vince running around and cheating or anything. I don't think he did.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on that, especially with any of the what the dirt cheats are reporting. That's like the last place to take any credence in a topic like that. But yeah, they've been married 50 years. I mean, he's what 74, and they got married in their early 20s, so probably 50 plus years.
And there we showing some of the wedding pictures here, but if you're Vince McMahon, when the hell do you have time to even run around? you know, or when do you have time to really be married? Honestly, probably don't even realize he's been married so long with the amount of time he spends at the damn, production studios and Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views and, before you know it, it's fucking 50
Yeah.
years.
I've heard rumors Vinnie Mac barely sleeps at all. Like, hasn't he, sleeps an hour or two a day, and that's about it. Dressed up as a priest or something in that picture. It's like a Halloween costume of some kind. Flexing his muscles there.
Yeah, I wouldn't get much sleep if I was Vince, especially in this time. Well, maybe not this time, but probably 3-4 years ago, they were telling people, they couldn't afford to keep him. As here comes Stephanie finally down to the ring about 10 minutes in. You got guys like Bret Hart and Hogan, and just guys that Vince is kind of saying, hey, I can't afford to keep you.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy to think about now. With just they're just flooded with guys coming in and NXT and running Raw and SmackDown and NXT UK and a million. Seems like they have a million own promotions within WWE now, but
right.
It wasn't always like that. So yeah, I couldn't picture myself getting a lot of sleep when I'm letting guys like Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart go to this other company that's bound to beat the hell out of me for 83 weeks, as famously stated.
Yeah. Stephanie's like a young, early 20s at this point, probably 23, 24.
Yeah, she was on screen almost immediately. She's even here, I think she's already been on screen a few months or maybe even a year with that whole test angle. I think they already did it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With the she was dating Test and she was kind of just like this fucking airhead little quote unquote teenager, even though she was probably like 18 or 19, whatever. But now this is where you really see Stephanie's pretty big baby face here, going up against her dad, Vince. And they're all better heels, I think, in my opinion, though.
No question. All of them are, except Linda, maybe. But all, for sure, Stephanie. And you could argue Stephanie's the number 2 heel in the industry right now. When she was on stage there, she definitely attributed a lot of the declining ratings that Raw had in the last couple years. And Shane, for sure, is a better heel.
Yeah, I didn't mind really Shane or Stephanie. I think probably like Shane better just because you kind of want to cheer for Shane for some reason. And this is I think this is kind of sets it into your mind of why you wanted to root for Shane. Is one of these early storylines like this.
Yeah.
It always seemed like it was him versus Vince. Kind of father versus son thing. They're rarely on the same team.
Right. I agree with that. They're going back and forth here with their verbal jousting, and I'm sure Stephanie's pleading her case why Vince should be nice to her mother.
Yeah, now he's saying
animated there.
Yeah, now he's saying how you kind of had to marry Linda because Shane was, or she had been pregnant with Shane at the time before they got married, so he had to marry her. And here comes the Olympic gold medalist, WWF champion, of course, at this time, Kurt Angle. Kurt's actually going to lose the belt, I think, a month later here at the Royal Rumble to The Rock, I believe. And the, of course, I think that's the same Stone Cold winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And of course,
Austin
Austin
definitely won the Rumble, yeah. That was his third and final Rumble win. Vinnie Mac's got his cane in his hand, ready to hit Angle with it.
Kind of missed that. I guess they say some of the best gimmicks are who you really are, and I think I don't know about Stephanie so much, but I think Vince was always described as being an exaggerated, blown up character of who he really was,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Kurt Angle here in the gold medal and the tracksuit and just talking like a goof and a freaking nerd, whatever you want to call him. But that's kind of how what Kurt Angle is too. It's a weird, quirky sense of humor, and so I think these two fits. And you can even tell in the promo how they're just real fluid. It doesn't seem contrived.
Yeah, it seems organic, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like you could see if these three were like in the kitchen, they'd be talking the same way and having the same conversation. It's not like it's different because it's on live TV or in front of a sold out crowd here.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
And you see Vince even with the exaggerated smile and the faces and shit. That's just so over the top, but it worked.
Yeah, they say the best characters are yourself with the volume turned up. So I agree with that.
Yeah, you look at all the same ones as here comes now Commissioner Foley as we're getting the fourth, I guess the third interruption to Vince, but a fourth guy in the ring and rocking the old JR's barbecue sauce. Yep, 19 years ago it was still a thing.
Still is today.
Still
The
is
hardcore
today.
legend.
Yeah, I heard of a lot of good stuff about it, even though I've never really tried it. But I know he has like mustard and like relish and barbecue sauce, obviously, and he has like all kinds of condiments and stuff going. Oh, as Foley kicks the cane out from Vince. That was a low move. Foley's another guy, man. This is just, Mick Foley just talking here. Another guy that's just living the,
Living the gimmick.
Is him, yeah, with the
Right.
sweatpants and the beat up shoes.
Yeah.
If you saw
Plaid
Mick Foley at the store today, that would be what he was dressed in.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hopefully, we're going to get some kind of angle here about 20 minutes in.
Foley with a cane and pleading his case here, whatever, and sure sticking up for Linda because storyline wise, Foley and Linda are pals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's the one who gave him the commissioner title. At this time, anyway. I know she was usually in charge of that shit on TV.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle.
It's the only downside of the watch along when they're doing the mic work. You can't. I can't tell what they're saying. So just kind of going by their body language and such.
Yeah, Kurt just basically defending Vince here, and I don't really know where they're going with this. I don't think Mick's gonna get in the ring at all. Not really sure where they're going with this for this episode of Raw, but Mick, even though he's commissioner here, he wouldn't be done here for another 5 or 6 years. He would still be wrestling.
Yeah, 2007 he was still wrestling, so
yeah,
still quite a bit to go yet. Never retired and came back a few times.
Kurt, of course, was just inducted to the Hall of Fame about 2 or 3 years ago. A little comeback run.
Sure. Yeah, not a Kurt Angle fan. No, I've said this on the podcast before, but not a Kurt Angle fan. And someday when we do another podcast and it's not a watch long, I'll explain why. But a big Foley fan, of course. Just never really cared for Kurt Angle, but he's a huge fan favorite, and I know he's recognized as one of the best of all time, and I can respect that.
Yeah, I still gotta dive into actually both of their books. Kurt Angle had a book around this time, and obviously Foley has like 3 or 4 books. I don't even know how many he has at this point, but I gotta dive into both of their books. And,
I read
all pretty good reads.
I read Have a Nice Day and the Hardcore Diaries, and he had one Countdown to Lockdown. I think he might have had 1 or 2 others. I haven't read them though. I always wanted to see his stand-up routine when he kind of travels around. He hasn't come in the area lately. He did a couple years ago. It was like on a Wednesday night. It was like 2 hours away. I just couldn't make it.
Here we go with Kurt saying he won the one of the classic 6-man Hell in a Cell matches. Still walked out as champion. So then Foley says he's going to book Kurt Angle versus Vince McMahon right here in Greenville, South Carolina, of course.
Interesting. It's where Raw was a week ago Monday, or this past Monday, but it'll be a week ago Monday when this airs. McMahon with the confused and shocked look on his face as the hardcore legend to make his way back up the entrance ramp.
As Mick comes to the top of the ramp, we just crossed 23 minutes. Wow.
It's crazy on a 2-hour show. It's about almost a quarter of the show.
And now we're going to get a recap of it here.
In case anybody tuned in late.
Yeah, this was
Angle nose to nose.
This is strange too at this time. A lot of big stars in 23 minutes for the first opening promo. You do not see that. Usually you get a promo and a match within the first 30 minutes.
Back in those days, yeah. 2019, you don't.
On here.
2000 now, Stephanie. The jacket on, heading back, leaving, getting into the limo.
How much do you think that limo costs for a night? Just like to take Stephanie back to wherever the hell she's going back to.
At least $5 for sure. Probably closer to $1,000. That's a Lincoln. Probably like $1,000.
That's it? Ain't that bad, man.
Yeah, I don't think that much. I've priced them before just for the heck of it, and the Hardys in the backstage there.
I'll take limos.
Early days of the Hardys.
I mean, $1,000.
Yeah. Especially on a weekday, yeah.
Yeah, Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit coming out, and Matt sent out Jeff. So, see here, I guess we're going to have a singles match here as we get a flashback to last Thursday on SmackDown. So we're building something here around the IC title with Jeff and Benoit as Jeff gets kind of a cheap win and hauls ass up the ramp, man. He's gone. Damn. Now Matt comes out to kind of watch his back and make sure he's all good to go. And I don't know. I wasn't crazy about Jeff as a single star, but even early as 2000, you kind of forget, because I think at WrestleMania 17 there's another one of those TLC matches, ain't it, coming up?
Yeah, I believe so, with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird here to see him in a more of a single. I mean, obviously with the IC champ, so he's here in a singles feud at least, or a singles belt. I never really think of him as a single star in 2000.
No, not then. Later on, he'd be the WWE champion. Yeah, several years later.
Yeah, he would have. I think he won the IC title a few times, and obviously WWE title, and
Oh yeah.
He had a few runs as a single star, but I never really liked him as a single star. I don't know why. I always liked the Hardy Boys as a tag team.
Yeah, I like both. The tag team better, but I had a good singles run too, especially in the late 2000s there when he, I believe it was Trips he beat the title. I could be wrong on that, but yeah,
Yeah, he goes. Definitely has a big, long resume, but I kind of like. I don't know. I always like tag teams that stay together, like the Dudleys. I mean, I know they broke them off a little bit, but that was fucking stupid with Reverend Devon or whatever the hell they did there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But just like those tag teams that just always stick together, or
yeah. That's true. Yeah,
even
I
if
mean,
right
look,
now, like even if they had Matt like at ringside, so like you still kind of remember that they're a tag team. I always
yeah,
hated that like Jeff just came out by himself, and I don't know.
sure, yeah. I'm not sure why he's not out there.
Yeah, we've seen him in the back, but I guess I don't know. You know how baby faces are. They always try to
Right,
do stuff the right way and go out there and do it on your own, man.
right.
They always get fucked over.
Yeah, I didn't realize Benoit was pretty ripped in those days.
But yeah, this is when the Radicals had just coming over. I think it was the
Oh,
same year, 2000, I believe, or maybe 99,
right
somewhere
around that
around there.
time. Yeah, it was like late '99, early 2000. They came over, I believe.
Yes, they're still kind of new, and here he is already your defending Intercontinental Champion heading into 2001. And I'm not sure the timeline, but I know Eddie Guerrero would be involved with the IC title, and not so much Dean Malenko or Perry Saturn, which kind of sucks. But
There's a diving headbutt. Yeah,
2 count. Yeah,
yeah.
they with those guys laying down their feet, of course. Uh, Dean Malenko's still working in AEW, I believe, right?
He is. That's correct.
There you go. 19
Yeah,
years later.
yeah.
What do you think of Jeff's outfit here, man? That's always wearing like some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty typical in those days, though. He still wears the same pants today,
Yeah.
and but yeah, the definitely doesn't do the see-through shirt there like he did in those days. He's probably early 20s too around this time. 22, 23 at this point.
Oh yeah, they broke in really early. I remember I forget where I heard it, but they said obviously when they first broke in, they paired him with Michael Hayes because he was like a big fan of theirs or whatever, and they'd be not only as Jeff taps out there to the crossface, um, they would not only on TV or whatever, but they would be Michael Hayes was their actual real handler or manager, whatever you want to call him. And they would go out with Michael Hayes and stuff, and they couldn't even drink, man. They were like 19, 20 years old,
Jeff
running
Jeff started
around.
doing jobs for WWE. He was still in high school. He was like 16 years old. He was still in high school. If you look at that a Hardy Boys documentary or a couple CD set or something several years ago, I watched, and he was on the wrestling team in high school, and they said no, you can't be on the team because you're already getting paid as a professional. So that was interesting.
Yeah, that's a crazy life, man, to be that young and running the road or whatever you want to call it with friggin' Michael Hayes.
Yeah, he was Jeff Harvey, if you remember at the very beginning. Instead of Jeff Hardy, it was Jeff Harvey. So, yeah. Yeah, Vinnie Mac and Angle in the back now, going over something.
Yeah, well, Vince is saying, listen, I know you're the champ, and I know you're a gold medalist, but I'm gonna pin your ass because I'm booking this fucking shit, and I'm gonna pin you for the 1, 2, 3. Think about it, Kurt. And Kurt's like, I gotta go, Vince. I gotta take a shit. I'll be right back. And Vince is saying, damn, I'm gonna pin a gold medalist tonight. Here's another classic. I actually had this book as a kid. Obviously, I was like 6 years old at this time. And here we go, man. Mick Foley's Christmas Chaos.
Okay.
With Jerry the King Lawler kind of contributing to that shit too. But
Oh yeah, Jerome and
Um,
his artwork there. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty wild Christmas book. I mean, it wasn't like cursing or it was like a kid's book, but hardcore, I guess you could say. As you got Edge and Christian here, your tag team champions, and this is the time where they were kind of running with Kurt a little bit, kind of unofficially, buddies with Kurt. Kurt's asking him the game plan to how to take a pin from the boss. And Edge and Christian are saying, "We don't do jobs, brother. We're the champs." And
They were still relatively new as well in the business.
yeah, this might even before their photo fucking shit. What they used to do, freeze frame, 5-second photo, whatever the hell it was called. They would freeze or 5-second pose. As we finally get a shot of JR and the King. I haven't got a shot of them all show.
No,
32 minutes in.
Yeah. There's Jerome. Jerome's
Here we go.
still doing commentary today. Yeah.
As we're gonna get some right to censor stuff in. Oh yeah, I remember this angle. So they apparently hurt Chyna's neck, and she's gonna do an interview here. I don't know if it's here or maybe like the next week or two. She's gonna do
a very good job of protecting there.
Yeah, she's gonna do an interview with JR with like a neck brace on, and then right to censor is gonna kind of mock her, and I don't know how real this stuff was.
Is that Val Venus that gave her the pile driver? Sure didn't do a very good job of protecting her.
Yeah, I don't know how real this stuff was because she came back really quick from that. I think she's actually back at the Royal Rumble. I think is the whole angle for her and Ivory.
Okay.
Here you go, Michael Cole with the blonde highlight tips. Interviewing Billy Gunn with even more blonde highlight tips. And two more guys that are, of course, still in the business. Michael Cole going to be on Friday Night SmackDowns, and Billy Gunn still associated with All Elite Wrestling there on Wednesday nights. So,
yeah, we're still to tolerate Michael Cole in 2019. It's a shame.
Yeah, I don't mind Michael Cole. I think he came in at the wrong time, I think.
Billy Gunn's all fired up about something.
Yeah, I think they're talking about that Chyna stuff. He's probably going to end up going after. Here we go.
Connect 4 little dartboards, stuffed animals. There we go.
Deborah here, of course. Another talent, I guess you could say, coming over from WCW. Kind of early, kind of jumped before the Titanic sank, I guess. Her and the Radicals.
Yeah.
And,
Jericho did. Yeah.
Jericho, yeah. A few of them got the fuck out of there while they saw the iceberg ahead and they said, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for this shit to hit.
Yeah.
What do you think of those tag titles there? I'm a big, I think, no, by now I'm kind of a big title nerd. I think those titles are kind of plain.
Yeah, they're okay.
You can't even see what they are, man. They're fucking, I don't know. They suck. I hated those tag belts.
They're all right.
The only ones worse than those were those fucking stupid bronze ones they had for before they split the Raw and SmackDown belts. Or the Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
It was just like bronze. It was fucking terrible. Oh! Edge flipping over the commissioner's desk and trying to strong arm the hardcore legend here. And of course, these two would have one of the better WrestleMania moments fucking years
right.
later.
Yeah, 2006. Yeah, with the him and Lita with the table on fire. Yeah.
Yep, speared
You're
him
right about
right
that.
fucking through it. Great WrestleMania moment. Great WrestleMania match, actually. I enjoyed that match a
Absolutely.
lot.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Foley's like, who do you think you are, Sexton?
Yeah, and then I think I missed the names, and he said he's taking on a team of Undertaker and somebody else. Might have been The Rock.
Okay.
As we get another true tag team here, as we mentioned before, the Dudley Boys, who also fucking hauled ass out of ECW about a year or two ahead of time.
Another recent WWE Hall of Famers.
Yeah, and two guys actually got to keep their gimmick. I mean, at least most of it,
Keep their
if not
gimmick
all
and
of
the
it.
name, yeah. Yeah.
The 3D and the names and the outfits. Obviously they weren't setting tables on fire and shit here like they were in ECW, but they still got to use the tables.
Yeah.
No fire, lighter fluid, or anything. But hey,
the
take what you can get sometimes.
one Billy Gunn, it says. Okay.
Yeah. That's Billy Gunn. Oh yeah, so we're getting some 6-man action here. Okay, so we got the right to censor. So Billy Gunn's just gonna beat up the Goodfather and Bull Buchanan. Oh god. And now Val Venus. Oh dear. This would probably be so much better if this was a tables match. Which I'm sure somebody's going to go through a table anyway, but it was Devon with that flying clothesline I always liked. I liked when he did that spinning elbow shit too, or backwards elbow. Oh! Big
Yeah,
boot by
yeah.
Bull Buchanan there. Crowd is fucking digging it, man. They're going crazy for this shit.
Indeed. Going
Only
nuts.
second match of the night here, but nice crossbody by Devon. Only second match of the night, but they are hot, man. They hated the right to censor, and they loved them some Dudley Boys. Throw Billy in there for the China storyline, and there you go. Oh, Bubba's never a small guy. That's one thing you could say. You can never say, man, Bubba really lost himself, because no, that son bitch has been fat since the fucking 90s. Probably the 80s. As we're going to steam up the Ho train here. Oh, and of course, gets charged by the clothesline. Now Bubba's wailing on everybody on the apron. Setting him up for a little what's up action. Theodore Long's distracted.
I didn't even catch that. Theodore Long is the referee. Didn't catch that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I always notice him right off the bat for some reason. It's like him, probably Nick Patrick, and for some reason Tim White. Like I noticed Tim White was the ref in the last match.
Timmy White was in the other. I was just talking to one of my buddies at work the other day about they haven't put a referee in the Hall of Fame yet, and Timmy White's got to be the top of that list for Hall of Fame
No,
referees.
it'll be Earl Hebner.
Well, if he's in AEW, they're not going to put him in.
Yeah, but I don't know. They just put Billy in with DX, and he was talking about AEW at the damn induction ceremony.
Yeah, that's true. A little low
but of
below
course,
there.
that has a lot of. I'm sure it has a lot of Triple H and Road Dogg influence as well. So I guess.
Yeah.
But you got to remember the Montreal screw job. So.
Yeah. A guy like Charles Robinson should definitely go in. He's been a referee for like 40 years. WCW and WWF and E.
Yeah, but he was one of those WCW pricks. He's got to wait.
Okay.
He's got a service time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Earl's definitely got to be the first one to go in,
or a guy like Jimmy Corderas or Marty Elias, stuff like that. They're around for a long time too.
Yeah, but I think just the fact that Earl did the screw job, and like I think he has to be the first one, because like what other ref really would have done that,
Yeah.
Like what other ref would have really went through with that shit? Like he thought he was never gonna referee again. He thought he was, his career was over in 1997.
He was afraid for his life. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, he ended up getting out of there, but then he figured he was done with
Yeah.
wrestling.
Right,
Like
right.
you said, he's still
Yeah.
hanging around today.
Still around it.
Oh,
God,
big tilt-a-whirl
he
slam by
has to be
Billy Gunn.
70 years old, Earl Hebner. It's got to be. Nice. Yeah. Nice tilt-a-whirl there. 2
Yeah, I'll
count.
definitely put Oh, and Ivory's gonna get involved. Goddamn right to censor. I didn't realize how small Ivory was there until she
Yeah.
fucking body slammed by Billy Gunn, who's about 6'4", 6'5".
Right.
Mm.
She's in the Hall of Fame too, isn't she? In Ivory in?
I don't know.
Definitely
Oh,
not
it's one of my.
here.
That's the Perfect Plex hair.
Yeah. Sure
Album.
was. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. I don't know. Referee wise, I think Earl Hebner. But if you want to, obviously Theodore Long has, the general manager career and the manager career of the Harlem
Manager.
Heat. If you want to,
Doom.
discuss.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
manager of Doom for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivory joins WWE Hall of Fame class of 2018. Yeah, she just went in.
Yeah, that's right.
Guess we forgot that.
Yeah. Wouldn't see a woman taking bumps like this in 2019, that's for sure. Not from a guy, anyways. Reg and Christian Kurt Angle action backstage.
Yeah, she was
There's
she
Taker.
debuted in 1999. Oh shit. So about a year later she's uh-oh. Yeah, so we're gonna have some problems here. The Rock and Undertaker. Yeah. That's not gonna roll. Here we go to XFL commercial. Jesse Ventura, one of the guys that have just always come back to WWE for some reason after all his bullshit.
Got some blade jobs with him too. Holy cow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I never got it, but like I said, I was born in '94, so by the time I came along, Jesse Ventura was like an old timer. But
I
I went
remember.
back and watched some stuff with him on commentary with Gorilla
Oh yeah,
Monsoon, and
great stuff.
yeah,
Great stuff. Yeah.
I can't discount that, but other than that, I didn't really know him as a wrestler.
He he really lobbied hard to have a union in WWF, and Vinnie Mac didn't like that, and so yeah, kind of.
Yeah, didn't Hulkster snitch him out or shut him down or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
As we got the baby oil out here. Vince is telling Kurt, listen, man, if you're going to go out with me, you got to get oiled the fuck up. Take that goddamn tracksuit off. And let me put this oil on your Olympic ass. Oh, God. I can't believe when Kurt figured he'd coming in. I think he met with Jim Ross or Bruce Pritchard, one of them. And he told him he wasn't going to lose if he came into WWF, like ever. Like he was never going to lose a match.
Yeah, he didn't understand it wasn't real, I don't think.
And it had to be Bruce Pritchard because I think he like laughed and just like left. And then obviously I think that was in '96. Yeah, it was like right after the Olympics. And then obviously he would come in 2 or 3 years later after realizing, this Olympic gold medal ain't really going to get me shit.
I like those titles. I don't know. You don't like those belts? I think they're pretty cool.
No, at the time, sure. But now that I've seen so many better ones, no. I don't think they make the top 3.
Okay.
In WWF, I mean, WCW ones suck too, don't get me wrong. But I think I like, I don't know, I like all the ones of color. I like the World Tag Team titles. I like the WWE, the blue SmackDown Tag Team titles. And then the The ones they have now, I really like the SmackDown ones, the blue and the silver plates. Oh,
Towards the infancy, the American Badass gimmick for Taker. Sure.
yep. There goes Rikishi off that fucking Hell in a Cell on the Titantron there. Oh, white bike. Taker saying, hands off, you big motherfucker. Don't touch me again. And there you go. Dead Man's Row over there. I don't know what that's all about, but I did watch or at least I started to watch the Undertaker and Stone Cold special they got up on the network just
he
probably about
talked
2
about
weeks ago.
Yeah, he talked about this around 2000 there when he changed over to the American Badass gimmick. He talked a lot about he wasn't sure how it would go over and such. So it's good. Yeah, if anybody hasn't checked that out on the network, it's really, really interesting. It's long. It's about an hour and 35 or hour and 40 minutes long. It's quite a good good podcast, though. I guess Goldberg is going to be on the one after TLC.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I heard a lot of the I forget how it goes. I think it was like you were saying, Undertaker was kind of worried because he was
just came off an injury at this point and changing the whole gimmick and the entrance music and the whole appearance. Yeah, whole presentation.
He was worried about the wrestling style, and people backstage were kind of telling him, "Dude, the Undertaker, just wrestle how you wrestle. You can still do your same shit. All you're really changing is, like you said, the entrance music and not even really the attire here. Even if you look at today, he still has the black pants and the black boots and the black tank top. So it's not really that much different, except he's riding on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
he's missing the top hat, of course.
Yeah, no hat. Yeah.
But some of the guys were pissed off, because they're like, "Oh, same old Undertaker's not going to sell shit," blah blah. But what are you going to do? He's fucking 6'8" or whatever.
Yeah.
He kind of doesn't have to sell shit. That's why, people bash on guys like the Big Show or whatever. It's like, well, if they sell the shit from fucking Christian, then you're going to say, oh, that's fake bullshit wrestling. But when they don't sell, then they don't, then you're bitching that they don't sell. Goddamn, the guy's fucking 7 feet tall. What do you want him to do?
Right.
The most realistic thing for him is to not sell your shit because it probably doesn't fucking hurt him. Oh, big scoop slam there by The Rock on the edge. And what about the talent in this ring right now, man? Holy shit. Edge and Christian on one side versus The Rock and Undertaker on the other.
Four legends for sure.
Here comes the Undertaker and
hard to believe, but only one of the four is in the Hall of Fame yet. I would assume all four get in someday, but as of right now, only one of them's in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think they're going to put Christian in.
You don't think so?
I think they'll be dickheads and they'll put Edge and Christian in as like a tag team.
Why? Because Christian's TNA run? Is that why?
No, because I don't think he did as much singularly. If that makes sense.
He's a world champion. Had some really good matches there.
Yeah,
had a good feud with Orton there several years ago, and yeah.
I don't know, man. I heard he was the best worker out of the two for sure. But I heard he didn't get a big push, sidewalk slam there by the Taker. He didn't get a bigger push because Vince didn't like his face, apparently. What do you think of those accusations?
I believe it. I know Vinnie Mac said that he doesn't like the Humberto Carrillo, the guy that's been on Raw lately. He doesn't like him either. So, I believe it.
That's apparently the reason that Edge ended up getting the bigger singles push, of course. Like you said, Christian still had a singles run.
Yeah.
But nowhere near Edge with the Money in the Banks and the world titles and all kinds of,
Right.
Even the Rated RKO stuff. I mean, Edge was in a totally different tag team as a tag champ, really.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
Santa Claus is making his way down the aisle there. Undertaker chase. See, this is the same Undertaker gimmick. The ref powders out. Christian hauls ass out of the ring. Same guy. Except he's moving a little quicker. He's not so dead.
Good match here, a lot of action.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, at this time, even slowest guy in the ring's probably the Undertaker, but even at this time, he could still move.
He'll
for his
go for
size.
sure. Yeah.
As of course, probably like 2 or 3 years earlier, Edge and Christian were part of the ministry or something, weren't they? With Undertaker, kind of one of like his minions or something, and then they broke off.
Yeah.
Broke off into the Brood, I think, with Gangrel, or
Gangrel,
was
yeah.
that the other way around? Did they start in the Brood and then go towards the Undertaker? I forget how they did that thing.
Yeah, I can't recall either. Wasn't he Sexton Hardcastle when he first came to WWF? Like say like 96, 97?
Oh man, I wouldn't know about all that.
I remember
96?
that. Remember that gimmick, yeah. Sexton Hardcastle.
96?
Yeah.
No.
First started out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What about oh yeah, here we go. Well.
Nice. Yeah, Christian, man, he moves good. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I do. I think he gets in the next few years.
Christian won the light heavyweight championship against Taka Michinoku. He then lost the title to Gilbert a month later.
Okay.
I'm not buying the Hall of Fame thing.
Got Undertaker waiting for the hot tag here.
Yes, they started as the Brood, feuded with the Ministry, and then later joined the team. Okay, so I had it backwards. They were the Brood first, and then they joined the Ministry of Darkness.
Okay.
Which I think it's a bad rap too. I think I like the Ministry of Darkness. It was a little edgy. I mean, they were hanging some people from some symbols or whatever, but it wasn't terrible. Not as bad as people make it out to be.
Throwing Edge over the top rope and.
Oh yeah, Undertaker's going for the old school.
Old school rope walk there, and
yeah, top rope was I was getting a little low there.
Yeah.
Well, Christian did have another Americans run. I kind of forgot that. Tag team champion alongside Lance Storm. So I guess him and Edge had different tag team partners. I forgot about that. European champion. I guess you can make the case.
Yeah, I say he gets in. So the last ride here coming up.
ECW champion, World Heavyweight champion.
Yes, sir. Last ride. Is that going to be it?
No referee.
Referee.
Earl Hebner would have been there. See, and then Edge hits him with the belt. Christian's not going to capitalize, though, I guess. He's rolling the wrong way. Now he realizes it. Crawling over. Still trying to get there. Jesus Christ.
Is that Chioda the referee in this match?
Yeah.
Real young Mike Chioda.
Now The Rock wants the goddamn hot tag here.
Taker kicked out and launched Christian about six feet the other direction.
Yeah, Edge gets his tag of his own and hops on and Taker's back with a headlock.
Headlock or a sleeper hold or something there.
I don't know. I kind of forget what they're building here. Because like I said, The Rock would go on to win the title at, just a month later at the Royal Rumble. Oh, big smelling drop. So I don't know. I don't know if they're building some kind of angle here with The Rock and Undertaker for a month or. Oh, big spine buster. And here we go. Setting up the people's elbow. One of the most criticized moves in wrestling history. Sort of like the Hogan leg drop. Or the five knuckle shuffle. Or
Yeah, I was going to
whatever
say the
you want
five
to
knuckle
compare it
shuffle
to.
gets criticized as much as the people's elbow for sure. Essentially, it's the same move, Just
And
setting
there's
the
the pin.
elbow.
And there you go. I believe your new. Yep. There you go. Your new tag
Tag
team
team
champions,
champion.
The Rock and Undertaker. Huh. Just I think that's just kind of a swerve moment. Kind of like not so much a swerve, kind of just like an unexpected, Rock and Undertaker are clearly two bigger stars here solo, but as a tag team, you weren't really sure, especially us going into that match. I wasn't really sure who was going to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected a title switch there. I would have expected either some kind of DQ or count out or something like that.
Yeah, especially after this, after there's no count after the last ride, you figure out, well, fucking Edge and Christian are going to screw their way into another title win, but it's another thing you don't see a lot of. Have you watched NXT this week, Tom?
I have not.
Okay, then I won't fucking say anything.
Watch AEW Wednesday night.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Well, you don't see this a lot on TV anymore, especially tag champions. I think New Day recently just had like an open challenge, but they didn't lose the belts. Not a lot. Oh, now JR's going to plug his book. Can You Take the Heat, I believe it was called. And the King's got a pair of lugs there that he's probably never fucking worn or touched before this in his life. But here we are plugging it, man. One lug shoe. You ever own a pair of lugs, Tom?
I have not. You?
No, I don't think anybody has. And there you go, Vince
Probably not
showing the
even
guts
Jerome
off here.
himself. The Christmas lights on there in the background.
Yeah, like a little disco ball going or some shit, man. Foley's got something going on here. But him and Deborah are trying to get some alone time, and people just keep interrupting. And Vince is saying, I want to fucking join in, goddammit. And Foley said, you ain't joining in. You got a fucking match with the Olympic gold medalist, WWF champion, Kurt Angle. Vince saying, I'm the fucking boss, so if I want to join in on this shit, I'm going to join in. Oh, and he slaps him. That was uncalled for.
Yeah, why would you slap the hardcore legend? Put a lot of money in your bank account.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on with these two. Something ain't right here. It's probably a Royal Rumble plug, I'm assuming. Something's going on. All the Amish are going at it. Got some midgets in there.
That's something you don't see anymore is midget wrestling. You used to see it back in the day, but not anymore.
January 21st, so more than a month out. We got the Amish and the midgets wrestling, and somebody's sitting behind that TV. I don't know who it is. Did you see that arm behind that TV?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Jericho.
Speaking of AEW, here he is, your AEW World Champion.
Le Champion.
Let's see what kind of gimmick he's rocking here. Old Raw is Jericho shirt. Not bad. Still 2000, I guess. Unwrap me, Y2J. The fuck? And then, of course, Jericho's going to go on to have 1 million titles in WWE, so still kind of, a little shopzone.com, little prelude to the WWE shop, what it is now.
Yeah, Jericho many titles in WWE. So yeah, six-time world champion and intercontinental champion multiple times over, and New Japan intercontinental champion, AEW champion. Yeah, almost same haircut as he has today. Comes Perry Saturn.
Yeah, we're gonna get a flashback of Jericho and Malenko here on SmackDown as Eddie Guerrero gets involved. So they're still running this, this
All
Radicals
four of the
gimmick
Radicals, yeah. Seen all four of the Radicals tonight. Got Eddie Guerrero on the walls of Jericho.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they pay good money for the forum, so they're gonna use them. Gonna use them twice a week if they can. And this, I think this is before the old Terry Invitational. Or it might have been after.
I think so. I think it was before.
Between the Hardys and Ed and Christian, I believe. Oh, big super kick there by Perry. Oh, nasty knees. Goodness. Full Nelson suplex there, and some crazy gear here by Perry Saturn, man. Looks
Yeah,
like
I was going to
dark
say.
knee pads.
Yeah, it sure does. I don't remember Perry Saturn being this good, but it's pretty good in this match.
Oh no, Perry Saturn's the best Radical there was, man. According to people in wrestling, anyway. I didn't see it, but
yeah, I didn't see it either, but he's been pretty good in this match.
he was good in some of the. I watched the What Happened When stuff. Oh, what the fuck? I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Oh man, that was definitely botched. Jericho landing on his neck there.
He went for
The lion salt his ass.
Yeah, he went for a moonsault, but then but then Perry, I guess I don't know what the hell Perry was trying to do.
Kind of
Reverse
does
it
it.
into like a reverse DDT or
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I say Perry Saturn. I don't remember him being that good in the ring, but
no, man, Perry Saturn was great. He's about to do a job though to the Lion Tamer. Pretty sure he was just tapping right there, and he's still tapping, and there we go, ref. Okay. He only had to tap about 17 times. Yeah, Jericho's bleeding on his face there.
yeah, it's probably from that move.
Or one of those fucking knees. God damn.
Yeah.
Terry's going to get some of the action here.
Put her in the walls of Jericho.
Yeah, now here comes Dean Malenko. And like I said, they're going to get their money's worth, man.
Yeah.
Benoit out here for the second time tonight. I don't know where the hell Eddie's at, but Perry Saturn now picks up Jericho and little friggin' FU Samoan driver action there. I'm sure he had some stupid fucking name for it. One of the most underrated submissions, the friggin' Cloverleaf.
Yeah, Texas Cloverleaf, yeah.
Don't even see it anymore. I don't think anybody does it today that I've seen.
Sheamus was using it for a while, but he hasn't been on TV for a while, except for those rare appearances last couple of weeks. But yeah, Sheamus was using it there 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I think I could really get over for a submission-based, wrestler. I think Sheamus kind of turned into a brawler as Vinnie Mac still pouring a goddamn baby oil on. Somehow still has a full bottle. Uh-oh, now we're going to get into some risky business here, Tom. This is one of
Here we
the
go.
main arcs of this whole story here.
Here we go.
And I think this is the first kind of little footnote of the whole story as we see Trisha's first appearance with Vince. You know, she's saying how she's seen him out there and, you know, impressed at how, he was taking charge or how he handling this whole divorce situation with Linda and all that other crazy stuff. As Vince says, "Darling, I'll see you after the match." Now, why wouldn't she ask? I think we know who
D-Mac's got
asked.
some guns on him for sure back in those days for
There he
being
is.
mid-50s. Comes Austin.
An hour and 6 minutes into a 2000 Raw. The first time we see Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is that fucking nuts or what, man?
We got the acolytes here. Drinking some Budweisers and smoking some cigars.
Yeah, but only like one of those beers is like half open.
Oh, yeah.
I think you see like 4 of them there aren't even open.
Yeah.
Those cigars are definitely lit, though. Definitely lit. I don't know how much there's been smoking them, but they're lit.
Yeah, I met Ron Simmons a few years back. He came to an indie show around here. He's all right, dude.
Oh, and there's the, I think the unofficial third member of the APA. A lot of people forget Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, yeah.
As you see, Ron Simmons cracked the beer open for her there, and Bradshaw lights a cigar. Well, I guess tried to light it. You know. Here we go, man. William Regal. Just, yeah, I was going to say, was the European champion at this time.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
See, that's not a bad looking belt there, Tom. That's how a belt is supposed to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I like Regal. I was always been a big fan of his, even when he was Steven Regal. I got a great mind for the business, in my opinion. Good heel.
Get a little mic time here.
Yeah, works as a very good heel.
I don't even know. I can't remember who the last European champion was. That wasn't a bad mid card belt. I guess that they eventually replaced it. I guess with the U.S. belt now.
Yeah,
I got WCW and all that shit from them. I guess they replaced it for some reason.
Better than that crap 24/7 title. I'll tell you that. Not a fan of that. I know that's something USA Network kind of made him get, but I'm not a fan of it.
Here we go, man. 2000, late 2000, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and right to the ring, vest off, and right hand, into the corner, into the corner, into the corner.
Crowd's going nuts.
Yeah, and there's I don't
Timmy White again.
No storyline here, but
Timmy White again in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, this I think this is just Stone Cold, man. I think they're kind of just building him up for that Rumble match because obviously you wouldn't have a singles match or a feud or anything going into the Royal Rumble.
Right.
So I think he's just going to be beating people up until the Royal Rumble, which makes sense, I guess. You see them do that every year with somebody, not necessarily the winner, but somebody usually goes on a little rampage for like a month or two out before the Royal Rumble. Kind of set the tone, build them up for that big match.
Yeah, they did that with Becky and Rollins, I guess, in the last one. Becky for sure.
As Regal getting some offense back here, tosses Austin out to the side of the ring. Oh, big right hand, right back from Austin Regal. Checking if his beer's ready as telling King to get that fucking lug shoe out of the way. Oh, into the post. People are all over it. And, oh, into the post again. Goodness.
Yeah, Austin even took his hand up or anything. Yeah, crazy. Another guy that's got to be in the Hall of Fame someday is Regal, just for his NXT contribution. And I always thought he was good at putting guys over and worked a good heel for many years. Got to go in one of these years.
Yeah, that also brings up the debate is how much your backstage stuff really matters, you know?
Yeah,
Like
well,
how many backstage guys are they really gonna put in the uh, you know, Kevin Dunn's and the Bruce Pritchards and I guess if you want to throw in the Vince Russo or Jim Cornette or some of those guys in there. What the fuck was that?
yeah. Well, Jim Cornette had a lot of stuff besides the backstage. I mean, he was a manager for 30 years, so.
In the WWF though?
No, but that WWF doesn't mean anything. Though, look at the Rock and Roll Express; they didn't work in the WWF hardly at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they, you know, they could always find reasons to put guys in and find like you could find a million reasons to put Regal in, but you could also find a million reasons not to. If you just don't want to count his NXT stuff or whatever you don't want to count, which would be stupid, in my opinion. But like, would Bruce Pritchard ever just go in just as Brother Love? I don't think
No,
so.
no.
But would Bruce Pritchard go in as Brother Love and Vince's right hand man for fucking
Ref bump
to this
yeah.
day? For 30 years, whatever it's been, combined or
Right.
even Kevin Dunn. How long has Kevin Dunn been there now? Putting
Too
up with all
long.
that,
Too
putting up with
long.
all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. And
Mark.
guys like that, writers or producers, I don't think they'd ever put those guys in, which sucks. Here we go, Stone Cold with the European belt, and I think he's gonna get caught blue-handed, as they say, kind of hand in the cookie jar, but he didn't get to eat no damn cookies, man.
No.
Tim White saw him with the belt, saw Regal laid out on the ground, and that's another reason why Tim White's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Letting William Regal go over on Stone Cold on a fucking Raw, a month out from the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's not going to fly. Yep, see, there you go. That's what happens, Tim. I mean, got like
I didn't
8
see him
people in
eating a
that ring.
stunner, but I guess he did. Yeah. Well, kudos to Timmy Wyver taking a stunner there, and Mark Yeaton throwing Austin his Budweiser's there. If that is Budweiser, yes, it is. Now he's chucking the Budweiser at Regal.
Has I think we're heading to our main event here. Maybe one more before it. See how they play this out.
Now, it's got to be main event time. It was 1 hour and 35 minutes. We're almost an hour and a half recording, so we got to be getting close. Got to be Angle and McMahon, I guess, was the main event, right?
Yeah. Do you think Stone Cold's the most over superstar ever?
I do. I think that I mean, I saw Hulk Hogan live in his heyday, and he got a huge pop. Obviously, he was pop culture icon back then. And Cena, I've seen him live before. Obviously, huge pop as well. But I do. I think that you can make an argument that Austin retired in 2003. There hasn't been a star like him since then. They've tried many times, but there hasn't been a star in wrestling since Austin to that level. I'm talking. But yeah, I definitely. Even when Hogan is in his heyday, there was people booing him. I mean, not a lot, but booing him just because he won all the time and kind of shoved down our throats, or the same kind of reason people were booing Cena. But absolutely 100% agree with that.
Well, my only thing is, the way I'm thinking is Hogan was like, red and yellow as we see TNA come down to the ring. But you see, Hogan red and yellow, of course, Hulkamania running wild. But then he also flipped over and was arguably one of the better heels in history with the NWO, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
For sure.
I don't think Stone Cold was ever able to do that, as we would see later on the next year. His heel turn was kind of just never received anywhere near what Hogan's was.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that's to do with timing too, though. I think the timing was right. Hogan timing was great. Plus, it was like still a surprise, and in my opinion, the best heel turn of all time.
Yeah, I guess. I just think Hogan made it better, like a lot better than it would have been. Like if it would have been like, I don't know, Bret Hart or somebody else like that, you think it would have even like been as big? Because I don't think it would have been.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with that. But I still think the most over superstar ever, though, is still Austin. I do.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people could argue The Rock, I guess. I would.
Yeah, I would say he's close. He's close.
Rock's up there, man.
Yeah.
That WrestleMania 18 with him and Hogan was that was a scene, to say the least.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was at that show in Toronto.
That was a freaking scene.
Yeah. Excuse me.
As we were just getting the fucking. Okay, that was the 3 count, but Teddy Long just didn't count it. Okay.
No, he sure didn't.
So this is the early stages of Trish, and this is where I fight Trish sometimes about people are like, oh my god, Trish was so great, but listen, man, it took her a while. Her ass had to hang out a little bit more, and her chest had to hang out a little bit more at this point because
they were still in the Attitude Era at this point.
Yeah, the wrestling was not there quite yet. Now, obviously, the stuff she would go on to do with Mickey James and Lita, obviously great stuff.
Right.
But at this point, no, it wasn't there. I mean, look at this shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, but like you said, it's still in the Attitude Era though and stuff. So.
Oh, stiff DDT, and that's got to be it. I don't know how Jacqueline's. Well, that was a tight knot.
Yeah. Albert there.
A squash match there, but
almost. It was only like a minute long or 2 minutes long. APA didn't even get in the ring.
No, pretty much a women's match with APA and Albert and Tess just kind of standing on the apron for a minute or two. There's the disco ball again. Here we go with Foley and Deborah. And here's Kurt again, still in the tracksuit. Tells Deborah to hit the fucking bricks and get out of here. I don't care if you're married to fucking Stone Cold or not.
Was she married to Stone Cold this time? Was she married to Stone Cold when this aired?
It was close.
Okay.
It was, if not now, either like the next year. I know definitely about like 2002.
Okay.
And we're here at December 2000, so probably another year.
Okay.
Year and a half. I think it was somewhere around there, but I'm also not a fucking wrestling nerd. Well, I am, but
Yeah, well, he's been married 4 times, and I just can't remember the timetables on that when he was with Deborah.
it's Michael Cole trying to catch an interview with Vince McMahon on his way to the ring for his main event against the WWF champion Kurt Angle. Oh no, what are we gonna do here? What the fuck is this finish gonna be? Who cares? WCW's bought anyway. Well, no, they'll be bought in February, I think.
3 months. 3 months.
Yeah.
March 26th of 01 was the last episode, so it was bought right before that.
Well, yeah, but I think Vince was, obviously buying it in like February-ish.
Okay.
I mean, you can't just call up and say, "Hey, I'm going to buy you."
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know, but I didn't think it was that far ahead of the last Nitro, but maybe it was.
Here we go, a little Royal Rumble replay, which I wish they kind of did now. Maybe they'll bring it back this year. I mean, I guess we'll see here in a few weeks, but little Jake the Snake Robert. Look at that fucking snake, man. Holy shit. January 1996, and everybody's hauling ass.
Mabel hauling ass out there.
There's Jerry the King Lawler right there, 96.
That was Jerome. Huh. Tansy
Oh,
knees
God.
bailing out of there.
And this is actually for the WWF Championship. I missed that before. I didn't know it was for the title. Here comes Commissioner Foley. There's some hijinks going on here. I don't know what it is, but Nick's always up to no good. I don't know what the hell Nick's talking about here.
Hey, speaking of Earl Hebner, there he is.
Yeah, main event Earl. Got to. Oops.
One thing you don't see anymore either, they have here is the cameras, the still photo cameras, right kind of standing in the apron and stuff. You don't see that anymore. I haven't seen that for a long time. Whatever, Kurt. Keep swearing on your way to the ring. Whatever, buddy. Eyeball the hardcore legend like that.
I always liked this Kurt better.
Don't disrespect the hardcore legend who's given so much to the business.
It's close between this Kurt and the always liked the wrestling machine Kurt when he was on ECW about 7-8 years from now, whatever it was. I think those are my two favorite Kurts.
Well, clearly Vinnie Mac doesn't win the title here, so ends in some kind of kibosh or something.
No, Kurt will have the belt into
Kind of swerve.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Into the Royal Rumble to face the Brahma Bull, of course, but these guys didn't really want to fight. I don't think. I think Mick kind of just made the match to kind of, Fuck
Yeah,
with them.
right.
See Vince kind of milking his way down to the ring, pointing at himself, showing off the guns.
Yeah. He Mac's like 55 years old at this time, so not too
Yeah.
shabby.
It took a lot of talking into him getting into the ring at all. He would always say that nobody wanted to see an old man, in the ring. And
Right.
a lot of people talked him into doing the whole heel stuff, with Stone Cold in, 97 or 96, 97, whenever that started. He didn't really want to do that. And
Right.
crazy to
Yeah.
think about now.
Yeah.
Might see a finger poke a doom move here or what, man? What are we going to get here? And of course, Earl Hebner's fucking the referee, right? And Vince is going to tell him to ring the bell or something. It's always... They always put Earl in like these tough spots, since the screw job, just like those awkward. Like we didn't see Earl all night, right? Now all of a
Right.
sudden, the ref. Now he's saying 2 points or whatever for taking down the Olympic gold medalist wrestler. Only 4 years prior to this, mind you, so obviously still in his prime. So Vince is gonna grab a mic here and bullshit his way through this fucking main event, but kind of go off and say, he's gonna treat this as a real wrestling match because he's wrestling a gold medal wrestler. Oh, then a cheap shot to Foley. Here we go. It was a fucking setup the whole time. Kurt and Vince now outside beating the hell out of Foley, who was at the commentary table there. Kurt laying in some right hands while Vince watches on. Throwing him into the ring. See if anybody comes down and saves him, as Foley's giving a fight back here to WWF champ. Move, Earl. What the fuck?
Earl Hebner.
Goof.
Earl Hebner's in the way twice in a row. What's the matter with you, Earl? Nice right hand by the hardcore legend.
Yeah, I believe, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right WrestleMania, but isn't Mick like the referee in that match? Between Vince and Shane?
Rock. Oh, yeah, he was.
I think, yeah, because I think he gets involved with that Linda stuff too, the whole WrestleMania. It's a whole big crazy thing.
Nice low blow.
And of course, he always has Mr. Sacco on hand. Eventually, Vince ever fucking stands up, and there we go. And all three of them kind of laid out here. What do you think of well, now we're going to get Edge and Christian down here with some chairs. Maybe looking for a concerto. Were they making the concertos famous at this time?
Concerto was after that.
So they're kind of just sandwiching guys' heads in between chairs and not calling it anything here.
Which they missed it by a large margin there.
Well, Mick couldn't. Oh, okay, easy. And then we get I don't think Mick could afford any more head damage even at this point. Fuck. Now Stephanie.
Hardcore Legend busted open.
Down to the ring with some kind of paper. About to break some news to Vince here. Yeah, Mick's fucking bleeding all over the place. I don't know what the hell happened there. Stephanie waving this damn
Papers in the air.
paper around, and nobody knows. Nobody knows what the hell she's talking about. Of course, Linda, the immensely unstable, who was the formerly CEO of WWF at the time. And Stephanie's saying all the power has been handed over to Vince. Congratulations, Daddy, and hands in the papers, hands in the microphone. Vince is back in power yet again. And Stephanie with a little fucking heel turn. He had a little swerve of her own. At the beginning of the show, she was standing up for Linda and fight for the cause or whatever. And now she comes out and announces that Vince is head honcho again.
Yeah, she definitely works better as a heel, so easily a disliked character, I should say.
Yeah, it was easy. It's easy for some of the more basic people to be heels, I guess. It's just easier to talk as a heel, I think. You even see it today, you know, Seth Rollins, for example. Even guys like Kevin Owens, I like better as a heel. And
yeah, me too.
Foley getting fired there in the corner. Now that Vince is back in charge, Commissioner Foley's not. Oh, runs right into a chair shot from Kurt Angle. Mick laid out in the middle of the ring.
Holy, bleeding all over the ring, all over the canvas there.
Edge, Christian, Vince, and now Stephanie even in on it. All kind of circled around Mick there, staring down at him, and now we're all going to shake hands and fucking good night's work and another week of kicking WCW's ass, even with this schmoz fucking main event and 25-minute opening segment. All we needed to do was put Stone Cold on against William Regal for about 6 minutes, and we beat the shit out of WCW. Good job. Okay. Thank you. And that's why he's a billionaire, as the king says there. And we're heading on to another week, man. Next week is Christmas here, not only in 2019, but back in 2000. So that'll be a good show. That we're not going to cover, unfortunately. But we are going to cover, me and Tom have decided we are going to cover the tribute to the troops of 2006 next week.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Because, oh God, Vince is still talking here. What else? Oh, okay. Merry Christmas.
Must have had time to fill or something, yeah.
Yeah, he just says Merry Christmas. Okay, yeah, we got it. All right, yeah. And now we're just going to go call Ted Turner for WCW and buy it for $2 million and sell all this shit for $9.99 a month on the network for the rest of fucking eternity. Thank you. Okay, and finally, okay, there we go. So, yeah, next week going to be I don't know if it was, you know, obviously those tributes to the troops are always taped at different times, but it was aired, at least according to the network and Google and all the other shit that you look stuff up on, December 25th, 2006, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
So pretty fun tribute to the troops there, and I kind of wanted to do it, not only because those shows are always kind of like wacky and fun and kind of sort of like house shows, you know, kind of just like entertainment purposes. Nothing really crazy usually happens at those, but Also, as I was saying, they're not going to be airing one this year, which kind of sucks. News kind of broke, I think, within the last 2 or 3 days here that for some reason it's just not going to be aired this year. Did you see that, Tom? That they're
I
not airing
did.
tribute to the
I did
troops
see
this year?
that, and I was not happy. And that's usually a fun show, like you mentioned. And yeah, I don't know why they went over there and taped it if they're not going to air it. I mean, it's nice that they did that for the troops. I mean, it's good they did that. I just would seem like they would something they'd want to air too, not only for good public relations, but I think the normal fan would want to see that show. I mean, they've been airing it for years. I mean, gosh, at least 15 years, I would say. You know, maybe longer.
Yeah, well, we can't control what Vince there and Stephanie and all them air what they, or I should say what they air on their TV, but we can control what we air on our watch along podcast here. So, of course, you guys are more than welcome if you want to watch a tribute to the troops and go back in time, man. 13 freaking years ago already. December 25th, 2006, going to be our show next week, and we'll also announce of course, our New Year's Day podcast. We'll have that as well. Don't worry, we're not taking a 3 week break for the holidays.
No
So we'll
breaks.
also announce that. No,
No
sir. We'll also
breaks.
announce that next week. And until then, stick around. As for Tom, I think this was a good show. You got anything else to add to the show, man? Anything from this week?
No, not really. It was okay. I mean, it had its moments, I guess, but I felt that 6-person tag was kind of rushed, and the opening segment was way too long. But other than that, it wasn't too bad.
All right. As for Tom, of course, am Craig. Go follow us at On the Fly 101 or just search Calling It in the Ring. Like, we say here every week, that's where we put our polls. But, no polls this week or next week. We already have our shows selected out for Christmas and New Year's. But go ahead and give us a follow because our polls will be back after the new year. And that's it for Craig, Tom. I want to thank you guys for listening and for joining us on Calling It in the Ring podcast. Enjoy the wrestling this week and the rest of the holidays, man. Hope y'all have a good holidays. And me and Tom, for sure, definitely will.